Hey, this is Mo from the Mobile Marvel, and today in front of me I have the Vivo X300 Ultra. Is this the best camera phone ever? Let's get into it. So first things first, if you're looking to pick one up, at themobilemarvel.com, we have it, links below. We have the Chinese versions out right now. We have all of the variants of the Chinese version. We even do have that photography kit. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the design, comfort, and build quality. Now, I picked up the white version of this because this white version is unique. It has sort of mountains and stuff happening on it. Out of the options that you get with this phone, the color variants, I think this is the nicest. It kind of shines at you. It's very, very stunning to look at. The reason why I picked up the white one. But that might not be your favorite one. But yeah. Now, in terms of comfort, it is a very nice and rounded device. It does feel really, really comfortable in the hand. It is also a flat display now, which a lot of people I know love. It's no longer rounded, but that has not kind of affected the comfort of this phone. It's still really, really comfortable. Yeah, that's really nice. It is, again, IP68, IP69 rated, which is great. Now, one thing I need to point out is this is the biggest camera bump I have ever seen in my life. This phone is a little bit bigger than your other Ultra phones out there. I do have the two other Ultra phones out there, which is the Xiaomi 17 Ultra Leica Edition and the S26 Ultra. The Oppo Ultra phone is not out yet. So for now, that's what I have to compare it with. Now, this phone is big. It is big. For a flagship device in 2026, it is heavier. This is about 235 grams, so that is heavier than the other two. It is also thicker. This comes in about 8.5. Using my little measurement tool, this is not the best tool you can get out there, but it's basic. It is about 8.8 mm thick. So that is thicker than both of the other Ultras out there. Now, with the camera bump, and I've done this, it's 16.7, which is massive. So essentially the camera bump pretty much is 8 mm on its own, approximately 7.9 mm on its own. From what I'm getting 8.8 on the phone and 16.7 with the camera bump. So that is huge. Now, one thing, I've always said this, center camera bumps, they don't wobble. But for the first time, there is it's not Samsung level of wobble, but there is a little bit of, like, when you're kind of pressing down, it does kind of get a bit, because of how big this camera bump is. Now, the other thing is, unlike other phones, when you're moving this phone around, you do feel those camera lenses move constantly. So yeah, the phone also does come with a Chinese plug, and you can check out my unboxing video of this phone if you want to check out more about the unboxing. But it does come with this nice case. It does have Vivo written on it. It's a good case. Again, this is a big phone in that sense. Otherwise, in terms of design, it is pretty straightforward. It's nice to look at. There isn't really too much to really talk about the materials. It's pretty standard. One thing, it only has two buttons here, your power button and your volume button. The Vivo X300 Pro, it did have that little side button. That is no longer here. There is no capture button, nothing like that. It's just a 2-button device, which we're not seeing. Mostly we're now seeing 3-button devices. We don't see too many 2-button devices. It's a bit disappointing from my perspective. Next up, we're going to talk about the screen qualities here. Now, the screen quality here is excellent. Almost 91% screen to body ratio, which is super duper good. 10-bit color. This is a 144 hertz display. Is that the first time I think we're seeing On a flagship device, 144 hertz, which is great. 510 ppi. Really, when we're looking at the quality in terms of the screen quality here, it's excellent. There is really absolutely nothing to complain about. Another thing is there is an entire suite of eye comfort features. We have eye protection, AI sleep comfort mode, sleep screen, anti-fatigue brightness, adaptive color, PWM. Pretty much everything you'd want is here for you. So yeah, the screen has been great. It is a really nice screen to look at. And again, I do have the other two Ultra phones with me, so I can kind of compare. I kind of give you a comparison. Again, this is early impressions, right? This is not me having the phone for months and months and months. This is me having the phone for a couple of days over the Easter break. So I haven't had too much time with it. In terms of screens, it is absolutely excellent. There is really nothing to complain about. Oh, one more thing. This is 6.82 inches. So it's not 6.9 inches like the other two Ultra phones. So it's a little bit smaller. And that might actually help with the form factor. But again, for 6.82, it's a really hefty device. Next up, we're going to talk about performance. And this comes with the latest and greatest from Snapdragon, the Gen Elite 5, which is awesome. You can check out my Geekbench scores up here. Again, these are really flagship level scores. Also check out my 3D Mark scores. These are flagship level scores. And the stability is over 60%, which is excellent to see. And one more thing, I am also going to put up my Wi-Fi speed test. Again, these are really, really good and in line with other Snapdragon Elite 5 chip phones. So performance-wise, this is great. Just one thing to note, it does get a little bit warm with basic tasks in certain cases. And I've noticed that compared to other devices with the same chip. Next up, we're going to talk about, because this is a Chinese ROM device, we are going to talk about network compatibility. This does have the N20 band, which a lot of people do like. It does have N40. It does have N41. It has N77, N78, N79. But there are a few bands, because it's a Chinese ROM device, that are missing. Also, this has no eSIM compatibility whatsoever. It's dual physical SIM only. Next up, we're going to talk about cameras. And that's the main reason. If you want to pick up this phone, the most likeliest reason you are going to pick up this phone is because of the excellent cameras over here. And they don't disappoint. I'll get into the photos in a little bit, but let's just talk about them a little bit. It's the main sensor is a 200 megapixel LYT Sony Sensor 901, which is awesome. It's a 1/1.2, 1.12 sensor size, a 200 megapixel telephoto, and a 50 megapixel ultra wide. 200 megapixel. We're getting dual 200 megapixel. And there is a fourth camera here too. It's a, what is it? A 5 megapixel multispectral sensor. Now, the selfie camera is also 50 megapixels. Now, before I get into my photos, I just want to talk about a couple of the features that you're getting on this camera. It has 8K recording, which is great. It has log mode. It has raw photos. It has all the standards. Now, one thing I did find very interesting, this has the most feature-rich noise cancellation I have ever seen on any phone before. Just check out the list of presets and control that you have in noise canceling while taking a video. This also does have portrait video, which is nice. Now, one more thing is it does also come, what we've seen with the X300 Pro before, the street photography mode. Now, one more really cool feature that you're going to get is underwater shots. I haven't had a time, or we don't really have swimming pools, are not open yet in Hong Kong, but I haven't had the chance to actually try the underwater photo mode, but it does exist, and all the controls are basically using the buttons instead of, because obviously the touch screen won't work, so everything is basically with controls, and it kind of directs you at all times. This is a selfie camera indoor portrait video, the 50 megapixel. This is a 4K 30 FPS video. It is pretty good, pretty good. Nothing to really complain about. It looks sharp. It does look great. Now, we're going to talk about the battery and charging of this phone. I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get 7,000 mAh because there were a lot of rumors saying this is going to be 7,000 mAh. We didn't get that. This is 6,600 mAh, and we've heard that the European version of the global version will be 6,400 mAh. Again, that's not confirmed, but this is confirmed. This is 6,600 mAh, and the charging speed, 100-watt wired, which is great, and 40-watt wireless, which is a little bit disappointing for the wireless charging speed. Now, I haven't had this device long enough, but what I can say, it does last very long. When I did my benchmark testing, these were some of the lowest battery percentages lost ever while I've done this. And I've tried a lot of phones with bigger batteries than this, and they've lost more. So maybe this is a good battery. Even at 6,600 mAh, it might be very good. But no, this is not the best you can get out there. So, there is always a compromise with something here, something there. And this is not the biggest battery you can buy out there. Next up, we're going to talk about the speakers. Again, you can just take a listen. These are good speakers. This is really good speakers. But is this the best? I don't think so. Again, I am going to compare this with the S26 Ultra and the Xiaomi 17 Ultra Leica Edition. For me, I think the Samsung does have better speakers, but again, when I kind of compare them side by side, you'll probably get a better idea. So, stay tuned for that video. But yeah, again, the haptics, are they the best? Probably not. But for most of us, that's fine. They are good enough. So, what are my final thoughts or early final thoughts on this device? It is a bit bulky. It is a bit heavy, but it does have a lot of pros. This has a 144 hertz display. That's the best on a flagship I've seen. It is also a really, really good screen, 10-bit color. So the screen quality is excellent. And the cameras. These cameras are probably the best cameras I've seen out there. Not the biggest main sensor out there. The Xiaomi does actually have a slightly bigger main sensor. But they take really, really nice photos. And even in terms of zoom, this is the most stable I've ever seen holding a phone up in zoom without there being too much movement and shaking and all of that. So these are excellent cameras. Of course, more testing is needed and comparisons with the other devices like the Xiaomi and the Samsung, and maybe the Oppo comes out by then too. So we will have all those comparisons later down the line. But early on, this is an excellent device. Now, is there anything disappointing? Not really. I think the only thing, if I had to complain about something, is just how heavy and bulky this device feels in comparison to its competitors. And the 6,600 mAh battery is a little bit disappointing when all the rumors were saying 7,000 and we end up with 6,600 mAh. That's about it. So this was my early impressions of this phone. And please do like and subscribe. It does really, really help us out. And also, if you want to pick up this phone, please do go check out themobilemarvel.com. Links below. We do have some of the best prices out there. And we do ship to a lot of places. And yeah, that's about it. So please do go check that out. This is Mo checking out.